Pesci, and this is Barnes & Noble Tagged. It's official. The first African-American president has been sworn in. What a way to usher in Black History Month. And to help us celebrate, in the studio with us today is the National Book Award-winning author of The Hemingses of Monticello, Annette Gordon-Reed. When Annette Gordon-Reed picked up her first book about Thomas Jefferson, she could hardly have imagined his life would become so much of her life's work. Her books would bring to light a little-known part of Jefferson's life, and that is his nearly 40-year relationship with Sally Hemings, one of his slaves. In her first bestseller, Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, An American Controversy, Gordon-Reed shocked historians when she wrote that Jefferson was the father of a number of Sally Hemings' children. Now, we are thrilled to have Annette Gordon-Reed with us in the Barnes & Noble studio to tell us about her latest acclaimed work. Annette Gordon-Reed, you've been tagged. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, amazing book, and I want to talk about it in a minute, but let's start with An American Controversy. When you wrote this book, you threw this door open. A lot of people were not aware of the affair and the children that they had had together, true?
That's right. Well, people had heard about it because it had been written about in a fictionalized account, but it wasn't something that was thought of as a part of history, and that's really what I wanted to do.
How did you find out? I mean, you interviewed people and went through backstories and really made this without any DNA testing, correct?
Well, I basically talked to people, looked at what people had written before, and came to the conclusion that people were not really treating the evidence for the existence of the relationship seriously. And so it was really just about saying, come on, people, look at what we have here, and moving from there.
And then pretty much a year after the book was published, hugely controversial, DNA testing becomes available, and they find out that it's all true.
Well, they found that the DNA corroborated the story, and that was something that gave a number of people confidence to go ahead and make it a part of the writing of history.
What fascinated you about Sally Hemings? I mean, what was it that grabbed you?
Well, what fascinated me more than Sally Hemings was the predicament of their children. What would it be like to be the children of your master, to have your father own you legally, but by the same token actually be your father? And so it was that weird family situation that really struck me as something that I thought should be investigated.
So let's talk about this book. You wanted to explore further the history of her family.
Exactly. It's not, I wanted to tell the story of an enslaved family, not to just focus in on Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. They're a part of it, of course, but she was in a part of a context. There's an entire family situation that's very, very interesting, and she makes sense much more in the context of her entire family.
Jefferson's wife and Sally are sisters. They are
Exactly,
half-siblings.
Half-siblings. They have the same father, John Wales, who was an immigrant from England. And he had 3 wives, which was not uncommon in those days because women died in childbirth and so forth. And after his 3rd wife died, he took Elizabeth Hemings, who was Sally Hemings' mother, as a concubine. That was the term that was used. And they had 6 kids together, and the youngest was Sally Hemings. Her actual name was Sarah, but Sally is the nickname. So, yeah, she was, and then the half-sister of Martha, who grew up to marry Jefferson. So when Martha dies, the whole family comes to Monticello.
Now, the book has already won the National Book Award. Is that a thrill? I mean,
well, yeah, absolutely. It's sort of a dream come true. It's nothing that you can expect or something to say that you're going to do.
Well, congratulations. It's absolutely wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Now, a few more tags to celebrate Black History Month. First, from esteemed writer and civil rights activist Maya Angelou comes Letter to My Daughter. It's a volume of absorbing stories and wisdom dedicated to the daughter she never had, but sees all around her. Next, from former Essence magazine executive editor Cheryl Y. Green comes America, I Am Legends, a lavish photography book that captures the dynamism of 75 legendary African Americans. There's an introduction by Tavis Smiley and commentary on each iconic figure made by someone who knew the legend well or is carrying on their legacy today. Letters from Black America is a narrative history of African Americans told through their own letters. This book includes the thoughts of politicians, writers, and entertainers, as well as those of slaves, servicemen, and domestic workers. You might first have heard about James McBride when his autobiographical book, The Color of Water, hit the bestseller list. His next book, Miracle at St. Anna, was adapted into a movie directed by Spike Lee. It is the story of 4 African-American soldiers and the villagers of St. Anna, all of whom encountered a miracle. And it's being released next week on DVD. To check out even more great books to celebrate Black History Month, go to bn.com/Black History Month. With our first African American president, we will experience history being made every day. There is so much to look forward to and so much to honor from our past. See you next time on Barnes & Noble Tagged.